Hey everybody, hope everybody's having a good Monday. Wanted to go over a song that I've been working on. I found it in a folder that I created called Songs I'm Working On or Works in Progress. It's just a folder I put a bunch of ideas and ideas for songs and other things in there. And I go back to it once in a while. Little did I know that this song was complete, which happens sometimes. I can't find the VCV session that I did on this, but I know it's from VCV Rack because you can see it doesn't start till like verse 10 and then it also is just so little tracks on there, and it's got this reverb and delay, so it tells me that it was a VCV track. And I called it The End of the World, and I kind of wanted to just go over it with you real quick and kind of show what I did. So I won't play the whole song. Let's start from right about here, and I'll just kind of play it for a second, and then we'll go over it. Okay.
Take shelter. Execute missiles coming in. Officers, shoot all looters. Shoot all looters.
It doesn't seem possible.
Missiles coming in. All highways out of population centers to be cleared for evacuation. All highways out of population centers to be cleared for evacuation. Execute.
That's because people have been talking about it for so long.
This is not a test.
Okay, so that is a piece of the song. It goes on for about, how long does a song go on for? It goes on for about 5.5 minutes or so. Kind of go over what I did on the song real quick. When I do stuff in VCV Rack, I want to keep it as organic as possible, so I try not to do a lot of processing on the back end. I use Logic for mixing and mastering. It's the program I know Ableton and Pro Tools, but not nearly as well as I know Logic. And I find it hard to mix in VCV Rack, which I'm going to try to get better at. But for now, I record in VCV Rack, record it into Logic, and then I process it through Logic. So what I've got here is I've got a bass, 2 pads, 2 arpeggiators, a choir, some vocals, and then you got the reverb delay, and then at the end I have it's like a nuclear bomb that goes off, or a bomb that goes off. The only thing I've added to the stereo bus right now is a limiter, because this isn't mastered yet, so I wanted to get it up to volume so everybody could listen to it if they wanted to. And let me show you here. So let's start off with the bass, show you what I did. So on the bass, I'm not sure what I used for the bass because I can't find the original session, but the only thing I have done to the bass is I added, let me go over here, we'll just play it without this stuff first. Alright, here we go. So it's a drone type of bass. So what I added onto it, it looks like, I added this EQ from Pulsar, the W495 equalizer, and it looks like I put some low end up here, put some medium end here, and that's about it, if I believe. Let's show you what that sounds like by itself with the equalizer on. So it adds some more grit to it. And then the next thing I use, which is a secret weapon of a lot of people, and it's pretty awesome, it's the Sausage Fattener by Dada Life. And if you have not checked it out, check it out. It's really fun what it does. So let me show you what it does. I'm going to put it on and play. So it adds a lot to it. And what it does, if you look, you've got a thing called fatness here and a color here, and then you can adjust the gain. I'm only adding about 10% on there, so you can take it all the way up to, watch his little face here. See, he gets, now he gets angry. Now he's just beyond angry. And now he's happy, and then he gets angry. You know, I could do that all day with him. Adjust the taste on that. It's really fun. I enjoy the plugin, and it's, you know, fairly affordable. Next thing I did was a pad. Let's just go over the pad real quick here. I'm going to solo that for you real quick. The only thing I used on that is the SSL G channel, and I'm going to play it without the channel on. I'm doing a fade in. Okay, I'll show you what I did with the SSL channel here. Maybe. Well, that's lovely. Let's go to remote view. Hey, look at that. We can see it again. Okay, so what I did on the SSL channel is, let me play it with the SS channel. Okay, what you see as I did there is I added a little bit, about, we'll call it 1.5 kilohertz, and I added just a little bit, like 3 dB on there. I also added, let's see here, what did I add here? We'll call it about 6. Added about 6 kilohertz, at 6 kilohertz I added about another 3 here, 3 dB, and then I did a small compressor, and I compressed it 4:1, and it's barely doing anything. It's barely compressing at all. Let me see what that sounds like with the compressor. Okay, so it compresses around 6 sometimes. So it's just a small compression. I'm not compressing a ton of it. So that's number 1, pad 1, and pad 2 is going to be, see what it sounds like. I'm sorry, pad 2 is right here. My bad. I wish I knew what I used. I can't figure it out. Okay, on that I also use the SSL, and let's see, like 1.25. I added a little bit of, added some dBs to that, and a little higher this time at 3.5 kilohertz. Actually, I didn't do anything there. My bad. This one I went up a little higher, about 6, and I added another 3, and I believe it's compressing a little more. So let's take a look at that. Yeah, I compressed that a little harder. Okay, next one is an arpeggiator, and this one's pan to the left, hence the ARP1 to the L. Let's see what it sounds like. I'll take everything off of it. Oops. Okay, on that, what we did is use FabFilter Pro Q2, and it looks like I just took, what did I do there? Looks like I just did a, I took off some of the, low end there at about, let's see here, where's that low end at? Let's see, took it off, right around 80. And it looks like it is a 24 decibel per octave, so it's not a huge cut. It's just roll some of this stuff off I didn't need. And then I added this thing, is the Mag EQ, and the only thing I did on this is I added at the 40, it's at the highest setting, the 40,000, I believe it's 40,000 kilohertz. That sounded right. And I added a ton of air to it. So basically, it's stuff we can't hear, but it adds stuff to it. It adds, harmonics and things like that. Let's see. Here's what it sounds like with everything on it. I'll take this thing off first, so it's just with the EQ. And now I'll put this thing on. So it does add some ear candy to it. Let's go to ARP2 here. This is the right side. I think this is a different sound. Let me double check. In ARP2 we use the same thing for the most part. Let me take it off. Yeah, it's a different sound. So I'm going to show you what I did here. Same thing, just rolled the low end off because we don't need any of it. And also on this I did the 40 at the air band here and did a ton of gain on it. So those two together, they kind of sound cool together. Let's play them together. Cool. Alright, next thing I did was the choir. And the choir is... I'm not sure what choir I used. Let's go to the choir here. Alright, choir, we barely processed anything on the choir, so let's listen to them without anything. Cool. Alright, so on the choir I used an EQ, just a fab filter. Took off some of the low end here, about 110, and then I boosted some stuff right about 900, it seems like. So that's what the choir does, and then I've got some vocals here called Vox. So what these are, they're from old movies that are royalty free now. They've fallen into the public domain, and let's just listen to what this guy says real quick. Do I have anything on their vocals anymore? I guess there's nothing on the vocal. Okay, so I must have already done that and processed it. Let's listen to this.
Take shelter. Executes missiles coming in. Officers, shoot all looters. Shoot all looters.
It doesn't seem possible.
Missiles coming in. All highways out of population centers to be cleared for evacuation. All highways out of population centers to be cleared for evacuation. Executes.
That's because people have been talking about it for so long.
This is not a test.
Okay, there's the first one, and then what do I put in here?
This is not a test. All military, all civil defense units, Operation Scatter must not slow down. Emphasize martial law. 1310, situation red. 1310, situation...
Okay, so I put that in there. It looks like I wanted to keep it as raw as possible, so you hear a pop in there, so I want to keep it as lo-fi as possible. And then what I've got down here, you've got the reverb and the delay. So this both comes from VCV, and it records everything. So let me show you what the reverb sounds like by itself. And I'll put the delay in there too now. And I'll just turn the delay on by itself. Cool. Alright, last thing I put in here is a bomb noise. Let me show you what it sounds like by itself. Let's go ahead and turn this stuff off. Alright, here's by itself. I apologize if it's loud.
This is not a test.
I'll do it one more time. Okay, so it makes that cool noise. I put the black box on from Analog Design here. What I did is I went with the preset, the 808 distortion fully wet, and then I played around with it a little bit. So this is what it sounds like with the 808 distortion on it. Makes it a little more nasty and breaking up. And then I used the Sound Toys effect rack, and in the effect rack I used Boards of Vermont, which is kind of a cool preset. I always like using that and tweaking it a little bit. This is what it sounds like with the Boards of Vermont on it. And that goes on forever, but on the stereo out here, you'll see that I faded it out. I faded all the instruments out, and then I put the bomb back, and then I faded the bomb out. that's it for the song. If you have any questions, please leave a comment or shoot me an email at jason@mrkaplan.co. I will post this video, and I'll also post the whole track on YouTube as well. And I'm going to master it first, and then once I get that mastered, I'll put it out, and we'll take it from there. Again, thanks for listening, and hope everybody has a great Monday. Talk to you soon. Bye.